Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Big Show on the Three Bozos Network. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties on this episode. A lot of choppiness, a lot of words cut off. But we did 2 hours of a podcast, and I would not be doing my podcast host duties if I still didn't let you hear what we recorded. So you've been warned. Now, get ready for a new episode of The Big Show titled Flat Earth. Yippee-yo, here we go.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
Take a hike, Bozo.
See ya.
See ya.
And we're the 3 best friends that anybody could have. We're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. We're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. Some fucking spatulas!
You are listening to The Big Show on the Three Bozos Network. Oi! Ha 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 ha!
Welcome to another episode of The Big Show on the Three Bozos Network. I am Wizayne the Pizain. Joining me is Brooksy Boy. What's going on, Brooks?
It's good to be back on the show again. It feels like it's been far too long since we gathered for a chat, our lovely podcast. So yes, it is good to be back in the presence of two of my best friends in the world, and I'm ready to just chat about a bunch of shit tonight.
Yep, we are 3 best friends that anyone ever had. Yeah, man. Boaz, he'll be joining us a little later. He's running a little late today. But we'll get to why it's been so long. A little later, I know Brooksy kind of wants to talk about some things, but we were, you had your power outage, and then I had no AC, and honestly, I did not want to do a podcast with no AC. I like it when it's hot.
That's no fun.
No fun at all. So, but hey, what has it been, a week and a half now? We're all, 2 of the 3 of us are back together. The third one will be with us shortly. So,
yeah, it's funny how you and I, yet we live in 2 of the hottest states in the United States of America. You're in Florida. I'm in Texas. It's just hotter than Satan's asshole, for the good majority of both of these states. But we live here anyway. Hey, the whole no income tax thing is a very, very powerful lure. What can I say?
Indeed, I agree with that. And we both have that. And if I did move anywhere, I think I might move to like Tennessee. They don't have state income tax there either. And they have a cheap real estate market. You can still live in the mountains. I could still live like an hour away from Asheville, which is one of my favorite places to live. But no,
I love Asheville.
I live here not from choice. Oh, isn't it so great? Love Asheville.
I was going to say, Asheville is awesome. Actually, I've been seeing on my Facebook memories recently some photos and stuff popped up from when I took a solo vacation there back in 2019. So that was a little trip I enjoyed. And yeah, that's a cool town, cool area. I think I've heard you talk about Asheville. I agree on how, if I were to ever live there, I don't think I would live in the city. I'd rather just like live in the surrounding areas where you still get in the mess, but you don't have to deal with as many people simply because Asheville has been growing, and it's massive city. Just one of those places that, people like the word spread about it and people started to move there. And now it's just kind of, taken on a bit of a life of its own. So the surrounding areas would be better.
Yeah. They are pretentious motherfuckers in the middle of Asheville. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I think I've told stories before of them. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it kind of like I've been told that Asheville is kind of like what Austin decades ago before it got massive. Like I don't know if you've ever been to Austin, but Austin is really like it's a big in itself now. Where it used to be like a mid-sized city, but it had like that kind of cool vibe to it. And they there's the saying like Austin weird just because it's got like a different vibe than the rest of Texas. But now it's just become just this big city in itself. So it's really according to people stories of it's a lot of decades, and apparently Asheville is like kind of a throwback to what Austin used to be way back when.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Austin is a place that I want to visit. I got to be honest, Texas does not have a lot of things that I have a desire to see. I don't really. Texas isn't my vibe. It's too much like Florida, It's like, yeah. But Austin sounds really cool. I would like to go to Austin. When you got married, we talked about having a getting together maybe once a year to do like a trip. That's what I want to do. I would like to maybe a couple years down the line, me and Hav come see you and do a little road trip to Austin. I know it's not too far. I think it's like 2 hours away from you, something like that.
It's closer to 3. It's a relatively easy drive. It's not like arduous or anything like that. What's actually a destination as well besides Austin is San Antonio is pretty good, but also Fort. If you ever go to Fort Worth, there's this place called the Stockyards, and it's basically picture like a Wild West kind of saloon type vibe. How am I trying to say this? Oh yeah, Ybor, but if you were more of a Western kind of cowboy type vibe to it.
Right. Okay.
the way I would describe the Stockyards. Like there's like a lot of bars and some saloons and a brewery around in as well. It like when my wife and I went on our where's that sound bite at?
I'm slacking.
My wife.
There it is. Yeah, when right after we got married, we haven't done our full-fledged honeymoon yet, but we took like a mini trip up to Fort Worth and Dallas, and we spent an evening Stockyard. Pretty fun time up there. So that could be like a future trip destination. Maybe we squeeze in Austin and Fort Worth or something.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. I know in Austin, I definitely want to go to a comedy club. I know like the Mothership is probably pretty impossible to get into and expensive. You got maybe like a Tony Hinchcliffe show. I know he's like across the street from him. Maybe that'd be like a nice consultation prize, But yeah, I would love to do that. I'd love to go to Austin, hit up some of the bars, hit up some of the comedy clubs, some live music. I know they got a huge live music scene there, so that sounds fun. Your saloon place. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, I know your saloon place sounds good. So yeah, that sounds fun. Like a strip of bars and everything's kind of saloon, old west kind of sound. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool too.
What's interesting about Austin is my wife has been there several times. Is that the area where like the college kids go to, and then there's my life, and then there's the area where you've got like people way past college that they go to as well. So we wouldn't have to deal with as many of the crazy drunk kids, and I guess there's certain parts of Austin. I think it was 6th Street is what she told me was where like the young goes. So I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what she told me. I'd have to double check next time I talk about it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Hey, when are you guys going to be coming back down to Florida?
We are shooting for a visit in beginning of January of 2020. That's kind of what we're at right now. Like we'd originally wanted
Yeah.
to bring our daughter to Disney World for the first time, but we said, let's kind of she's just a little older because she turns 2 in October. We figured maybe we'll wait until she's 3 and before take her to Disney for the first time. So I think that we'll skip out on Disney this year, and instead we'll just come back and visit family. You know, maybe probably take her to Busch Gardens so she can see like the animals. She loves animals, so she'd be at Busch Gardens.
Yeah. Yeah, Busch Gardens is always good. And the zoo around there is really good too.
Yeah, Zoo
when's the last
Tampa.
time you were at the zoo area? Mhm.
God, I don't even remember the last time I went to Zoo Tampa. Probably when we were still in school. To be honest with you,
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed a lot,
it's.
man. It's really cool now.
I mean, we've actually watched the show that was the rally show based around Zoo Tampa. That's on I think what channel
It's on Nat Geo.
they've had or Nat Geo. That's right. It was one of those channels.
Yep.
But yeah, we've watched some of that. And kind of, I was impressed with how much has changed since I went out there. I think Lowry Park Zoo last time that I set foot there. So it'd be fun to take my when on maybe as well because we've taken her to the Houston Zoo. The Houston Zoo is really good. So we brought her there. We've been on like a drive-through safari in College Station, which is where Texas A&M is. That's about a couple hours from. They've got like they've got a drive-through safari just outside of town that we've been to a couple of times, and she really likes that. So yeah, she's big into animals.
Right.
She loves her critters. So.
Yeah, I know, mine too. Yeah, he's a big fan of the giraffes. He sees the giraffe. He has a little. It's like a little rag, and it has like a stuffed animal head on it, and it's a giraffe. And we call him Gerald. He takes it. It's like his binky. He takes it everywhere.
Nice.
And he loves giraffes. So when we go there and he sees them, he gets all excited. He points at him, looks back at me and my wife. And he just goes, Gerald, and I was like, oh, kid, you're so cute, so cute. I could shit. He is a little shit lately. I tell you, man, he's hitting them terrible 2s in stride.
It's something, man. Like ours, she has her days where she's awesome, and then she has the occasional day where she's just real whiny and grouchy, and it's like use your words, and she's just like me, just pitching a fit about over the smallest little thing. It's like, oh, nothing's gonna cheer this kid up today. What's going on? It's like I've decided that I'm on this show to refer to her as our little A train, just because she just gets up a roll steam and she's just all over the place. So
yeah, there you go, man. A train. I know we referred to our son as G Money, but yeah. Let me tell you what he's been doing lately. He's in his throwing phase. He likes to throw now. So the other day, my wife has this large ceramic owl. It was supposed to be a gift for somebody. She never ended up giving it to him, so she kept it. Kind of backstory: owls were associating with the sorority she was in. So like, there's owls all over my fucking house. So this thing is about the size of, it's larger than a softball, smaller than like a soccer ball, it's in between that size. It's round. It's made out of ceramic. So our little man, when I wasn't paying attention, he goes over to the bookshelf where it's sitting. He grabs it, with both hands, and like Tyreek Hill scoring a touchdown, holds it over his head and slams it on the ground with the force of 1,000 fat women running towards Krispy Kreme on free donut day. And it just went everywhere. It broke into a million little pieces. And then he looks up at us and he throws his hands up like, what are you fuckers going to do? And well, that's the rest of the story. He does that all the time. He throws all sorts of shit. Luckily, most of the stuff doesn't break when he throws it. But yep.
And you have a disaster like that one.
Go. Yeah. He's a violent little shit sometimes, man. Jeez. He's like slaps sometimes. And he's just now getting to that age where we can tell him no and he understands it. But it's like right there. He's just getting to that age where anyway, he's starting preschool in less than a month. I think it's like 3 weeks away. And yeah, hopefully this is what I've kind of seen with kids. I know your kid goes to daycare, right?
Yeah. In fact, she's actually moving up to the next class starting next week. So we got the little booklet that they give you to get you ready for the procedures for that class and everything. And my wife and everyone went up just before it. It's like, oh, we're not ready for it yet. That means she's growing. It's fun. But it's like kind of sweet because she's learning. It's like she's not little anymore. You know, she's not like the cute little. Like she's still cute, obviously, but I mean, a little like she's this tiny little person just running around that has thoughts and feelings and emotions and is like it's different snacks. And in fact, I think she's trying to open the door to the room I'm in right now. Trying to bust in. Because she's now figured out. She's now that open up doors if she can bend the handle. And so we have to keep the door locked. Otherwise she'll stumble outside. And like right now, we're just with it as being as hot as it is, we're trying to keep her from being outside for too long, just because she just gets so hot and sweaty and just like turn red. And it's like we don't want that, so we have to keep the back door locked. We have to keep the pantry locked. Other constantly backs, or she'll want to get in there and play with random objects. Like she'll want to get into the zags and kind of throw them around. Her big thing now is that she loves to take random objects that are not her toys, and she'll just come around. Like she'll move them to one spot, and then she'll move them to another spot. And she's kind of done this for a while, but she's picked it up. Like she's coming in. The room I'm in is the man cave that I have in our house, where I've got like my double TV set up. I've got live and my NES Classic, Super NES Classic, all that stuff. Well, I keep board games in there too, and I keep like these Yahtzee scorecards because occasionally we'll play Yahtzee or board games or stuff like that. So we keep a couple board games in here and some in the guest room.
Yeah,
and she'll grab like the Yahtzee scorecards, just peel them off the main stack, and then just kind of move them around. And then she'll take a video game case and bring him into the living room, and then she'll bring him back into the man cave. And then she'll climb up on the mattress in the man cave that I'm sitting on right now. She'll climb down. I mean, she's like a pinball, dude. She's bouncing all over the place.
Oh yeah.
It's hilarious, but you also got to really keep up with her.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. Yeah. My little bundle of joy is exactly the same way. My wife. K-Cup Slow Drip describes him. It says she misses her little potato. We miss when he was a little potato. We could just put him in his little swing and he'd rock back and forth. And, you know, we didn't have to worry about him, well, getting a ceramic owl and spiking it on the ground like he scored a touchdown. And
Gronk spike.
He is. He's a little Gronkowski, which hurts my heart. Yeah, he well, I wanted to get your opinion on this. So since you're a kid, a little A-Train is in daycare. You tell me if I'm right or wrong on this.
Okay.
Back when I used to watch Caesar Milan's show, the dog whisperer or whatever, there would be like an unruly dog. And he would take that dog and he would put it in with his pack of dogs. And eventually that unruly dog would join the pack and he would not be unruly anymore because he would, he'd be part of the pack. With my child going to preschool in 3 weeks, I am hoping that he is like one of these dogs, an unruly wild animal that just wants to run free into the woods and catch deer, like Call of the Wild, by Jack London. And I think that's his name, Jack London. And and he can join this pack of other wild dogs that are more domesticated and get some sort of behavior correction, fall in line with the pack. Now you tell me, am I wrong in thinking that? Is that about what's going to happen?
You aren't correct in your thought process on that. We kind of thought the same way with putting little A-Train in daycare, because we put her actually in there very, very young. Like she was, God, how old was she? She was 3 months. She was actually maybe 3.5 months old when she first started daycare. So I mean, she's been there ever since that time, and I think it's helped her because it's kind of a lot to be around other people, see other people in different situations, not be around mom and dad all the time, kind of make new friends and just learn, basic social skills. I think daycare is really, really important. I know it costs an arm and a leg to put a kid in daycare, but to me, it's worth it. It's really worth it. But I would advise that anybody that's having kids or about to have kids, or maybe they have a very young one that wanting to send them in daycare, I would just say you do your research, make sure you find the right one that's a good fit, that's got a very attentive staff, that a place that's secure. I mean, make sure that it's 100% secure, that it's not like super easy to, like for instance, ours has, or like you can create your own PIN code. You have to punch that in to get inside. There's not like a ton of windows or anything like that. It's very secure. Like when we were doing our research, we settled on the place that we ended up choosing. We absolutely love it. The staff was very attentive. When you're getting a tour, kind of peek around and I would say look at how the staff is interacting with it. Make sure that they're attentive to them. Make sure that they look like they enjoy being around children. Make sure that they're not like distracted or just seem like they're kind of there to collect a paycheck. I would say just guys and ears open if you're taking a tour of a place. And I believe in daycare. I believe it's a good investment just because it gets your kid ready for school. It helps socialize them. It used to being around other kids that are not, say, other family members, like the little cousins or maybe siblings or something like that. So, yeah, I would say your thought process on daycare, preschool, whatever you want to call it, is dead. Maybe G Money gets in there and he sees other kids. Maybe he sees some that are not throwing things and says, "Oh, maybe this is the way." I'm going to pretend. Yeah, I just went Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping you're right. Or he's going to teach a bunch of kids to throw things. One of the two. He might be the leader of the pack.
Yeah, your kid, that are your kids going to be the one that gets sent home with the bad reports. Hopefully, he doesn't come to that.
No, hopefully not. Well, much like I would like to say to my kid these days,
shut the fuck up, kid.
Let's move on to a new subject. The end of this week, we have what we wait for every 4 years, and COVID fucked up a little bit. We have the Olympics. The opening ceremony starts Friday, and you and I and my wife, K-Cup Slow Drip.
My wife!
We used to have, and a few other people, we used to have quite the, celebration, ritual, if you will, where we would watch the opening ceremonies at some local sports bar that we happened to patronize at that time. That might not be the right word, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep rolling with it. And well, we would watch the countries walk by, and we would boo the countries that we didn't like France, and then we would cheer the countries. Iran, yeah. And then we would cheer the countries we liked, like Switzerland or Jamaica. We always liked Jamaica bobsled team.
Oh yeah.
And but there was always one. Hell yeah. There was always one country that would get us on our feet. It didn't matter if there were children about, it just had to be said. That's when America would come out. And what would we say, Brooks?
America! Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Like one of us would whip out our phones and we'd blast that song at the bar. We did not give a fuck what people thought.
Wow. Yeah, we did not. We'd get so many dirty looks too. Sometimes we'd be so drunk, and then somebody like K-Cup Slow Drip, we'd be like, "What, are you not American? Fuck you."
What do you mean you don't like America? You have our bar, even though it wasn't our bar.
Yeah. He's like, "You don't like America?
Boy, cunt.
Get the fuck out of here."
Those are some good times.
Oh no!
I remember.
Sorry,
I remember us. I think we would drink for like every country we liked. To be like, hey, Sweden drink. It'd be like, what was another one that we liked besides Jamaica? I think Australia. Anytime Australia, oi! And we take another couple of drinks at that point.
Yep. I always like the independents, the one that didn't have countries. They would just be competing in the Olympics, not represented by a country. I always rooted for them.
That was a very small group. Typically, wasn't there usually maybe around or something like that where that didn't have a country?
Yeah. A lot of times it was like that. There was a year that Russia was banned, and they had some athletes that competed. They just couldn't compete under the Russian banner. So
yeah, that was what 2018, I think, where they had to compete as Olympic athletes of Russia or something like
right.
Because of
that was it.
Yeah, because it was the big doping scandal that was taking place. Like so many Russian Olympic athletes got busted for doping, and so the IOC made them compete as Olympic athletes of Russia. Like that really makes any fucking difference. But hey,
I know,
gotta have the right optics and make it look like you're punishing them, even though they really weren't. They might have been banned from some competition. There was some punishment, but there was. It just performative. It didn't seem like it was a legit punishment at the time. But I think some of them were banned from competing in their sports. I'd have to do a little bit of firing up at the Google machine to see what exactly those punishments were.
Right. Yeah. I don't exactly remember either, but what is your? Okay, let me start with this first. I'm interested in seeing this year the war-torn countries competing. So you have Russia will be in it. Will Ukraine be in it as well? And they have their athletes represented. And what kind of drama is the media going to push on that? What kind of reception will Israel get for their athletes? It's a lot of divisiveness right now between, Team Israel or Team Palestine, depending half. I don't know if it's half and half, but there's a big, loud group of people on either side of that all over the world. So yeah, those sort of things. I'm kind of interested in seeing how that plays out. Yeah,
it's definitely a different kind of backdrop for this Olympics. Usually there's not that many political stuff going on during the Olympics. Now, I think the last Olympics that happened, of course, COVID as kind of a backdrop, both with the summer and the Winter Olympics. I mean, they had that going on. So maybe there it was, a little bit more going on then, but it seems like there's either a lot of going on as a backdrop to the Olympics, or there's not much going on at all. But like you said, it's kind of interesting seeing, how I'm definitely intrigued to see what happens with Ukraine, how many of their athletes are actually going to compete in Russia and else. It's just going to be, hopefully all that kind of gets set aside, because as corporate as the Olympics have become over the decades with all the sponsorships and stuff like that, I mean, it's still watch guys and gals compete in these events, because once every 4 years. So it's like they have a very amount of opportunities to compete, win gold medal sport, time and effort into it. And it's really, really cool, like seeing some of the stories that end up emerging about these athletes here in America and abroad as well. Just, backgrounds and upbringings and what kind of motivates them to compete in some of these sports, because let's face it, not a lot of them are glamorous sports. Not a lot of them are big money making sports. Some of them, it's like they need sponsorships just to kind of be able to compete. And it's not like they can, unless you win a gold medal, then there's money making opportunities then typically. But it's just kind of cool to watch the base level of competition, some of these compete that maybe don't send that many athletes otherwise.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. I think the last time you're talking about it being politicized, I think the last time, you'd have to probably go back to the Cold War with all the USA versus Russia. That was like an extension of the Cold War of who had the better athletes. The Miracle on Ice, which I know you probably know much better than I do.
Yes.
And Munich, the Munich incident where the athletes were killed, and then the Israeli special forces went after all those people.
Yeah,
so,
that was.
But it's been
the 70s when that happened.
Right. So it's been quite a while. So we'll see how that goes. What is your favorite summer Olympic sport?
Olympics, have to say, it's probably between the sprinting events and the swimming, because they're blink of an eye. It's like you got to really pay attention, and it just kind of, even though it's very short, it does a great job of kind of capturing attention for a very, very time. I think that's what I like about it, is that plus they can fit in a lot of those events in a relatively short amount of time too. So I watching those.
Right. Yeah, I agree with the swimming one. That's definitely one I will catch when they air. I like the high diving ones. Those are kind of cool too. Gymnastics, with the women's gymnastics, that's definitely one I got to catch. And it's kind of weird. Some of the ones that I would think I would watch, like boxing or soccer. What else is there? Like baseball, like those. I don't even know if there is baseball anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure
baseball.
If there is.
Those I'm not very interested in. It's like the weird ones, like archery is kind of cool. Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot of cool ones. They're bringing some really different ones this year.
You know what?
Flag football.
Oh, I forgot about that. You know what I always found kind of interesting in the Olympics was water polo. Because it's like handball, and I guess not soccer, but I guess more like handball, but it's in the water, and there's that kind of like lacrosse element because you're trying to, get a ball into the goal, but there's no like sticks. It's just the ball itself. So I always found water to be kind of an interesting one as well. Oh, the volleyball. Yeah. Volleyball's a big one in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, volleyball. Yeah. Okay, that's a big one, too. Women's volleyball. Fuck the men's volleyball.
Right.
Hey, look who
who
showed
joined
up.
us.
Perfect storm, man. It's raining, laying down in the bed after I just ate. Say yeah. I'm
Oh,
still
man.
in the bed, man. On the phone. I had to because I don't even have the computer on, man.
Why don't you have your computer on?
Because I just told you, man. I went and laid down. I'm still in bed. I had to
Because you're
interrupt and
fucking
tell you.
too lazy.
Say yeah.
You're too lazy to fucking get up, turn your computer on, and get your microphone so you actually sound decent.
All right, I'll be back.
Man. Oh, goodness. Never change, Buzz.
geez.
Never change.
It's insane. How many conversations have we had with him about that? About his shitty fucking phones. It's not just his phone. Like, phones sound shitty on this. Like, if I was on my phone, it would sound shitty too.
Oh, man.
Fucking Bose.
Never change. Never change.
I am glad he made it, though. I didn't know if he was going to make it. We've been doing this for quite a while now. So,
Yeah, we've been going for what, 45 minutes?
well, yes. We
Maybe an hour?
No, about 45 minutes. We started at 8:49, so 38 minutes ago. So yeah, we haven't even been going 40 minutes, which that's fine. Yeah, just to kind of finish up on the Olympics, though. Yeah, ones I used to like really care about, like basketball with a dream team and everything. I don't really care about basketball anymore. I couldn't even tell you, who the good basketball players are. I just don't care about basketball at all.
Yeah, I've kind of, I would say probably since the late early 2000s is when I kind of really stopped watching Olympic basketball, just because Team USA always like dominated for so long, and then there was that period recently where I don't think that they did as well. I mean, I would have to double check that, but there were a couple of Olympics recently where they didn't. Correct? Or am I mistaken on that one?
Where they didn't what?
Where they didn't win a gold medal?
I think you're right.
All right,
Yeah, I think you're right.
So PC is on, but it's updating. Discord is doing 15 updates. It's on 15 right now, 15 of 15. So this is still through my phone. How do I sound?
You sound like muffled garbage.
Hey!
Do you use the Discord app on your PC? Whatever. That's fine. Just a public service announcement. Anybody out there who uses Discord, don't use the app. You just go straight to a website, your browser of choice. I like Firefox, and then log in from there. It's a lot quicker. You don't have all the bugs. You don't have to wait to update 15 out of 15 like Bose is doing. It's yippee yo, it works well.
Yeah, I learned that lesson. Gotta get off the app for sure.
Hey!
Hey.
Fucking, hey, hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me see.
Javier, the fucking podcast killer.
Testing. Fuck you.
We got you. Fuck you too. So you on your mic now? Looks like it.
Boy, cunt.
Are you on your mic? I think he's doing that thing where he's trying to do a soundboard and he can't because now we can't hear him because he's doing. Yeah. All right. History.
Yeah, I was looking up the men's basketball. Apparently, I was wrong there because they've won gold in 1936, 1948, 52, 56, 60, 60, 48, 76 for 92 with the Dream Team, 96, 2000, 2008, 2020, 26, 20. So I was for some.
Maybe it was because they like lost a game.
It could have been that.
Yeah, they hadn't really lost before. They just kept like winning, like blowing everybody out, and then they like lost a game, but they still won the gold that year.
Yeah. Like the 1 year, like the last time that they didn't win, it looks like 2004 when they took bronze. Onboard's kind of cutting in and out there.
It always does.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Losing my mind, Baz.
the mic is on. We're in business.
We gotcha. So hey, Boaz,
Very
we've
nice.
been waiting on you so Brooks can go off. He's been holding this anger inside, boiling out, literally steam coming out of his ears, red as a tomato. Yes, angry
yeah,
than
let's
spinach and eggs.
go ahead.
Brooks,
Go ahead, man. Rip the damn doors off.
Oh,
what do you got,
man.
Brooks?
Well, as you guys know, a couple weeks ago.
Fuck you.
Well, a couple weeks ago, Hurl came through. That's a stupid fucking hurricane name, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Through.
Barrel, yeah, barrel. It's not even
Yeah.
spelled. If you're gonna spell it barrel, spell it like a whiskey barrel. R-E. Spell it that way. Like the way it's spelled is like Daryl, but with a B. Like it's just that first stupid name for her. I'll put that out. But yeah, anyway, getting back on track. Yeah, Hurricane Barrel came through a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
We lost power for 6 days, but we were without power as about 2.2 million people, specifically our customer point energy, were varying days. Some a week, some about 6 days, 7 days like us. We were at 6. Others were, went a little more than that. Yeah. Yeah, it was basically like
That's from that gay show, right?
Yeah, what is that from?
I don't know. I think it's Will Ferrell from something. But anyway, doesn't matter. Keep going, man. You're on fire.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
Like a jam. You're on fire. Let's go.
Yeah, and basically, like Center Point Energy dropped the ball. Obviously, prepared for this storm. The fact that they've not been able to really update the infrastructure around here, like there's still you still see that, and I've even heard about this as well. Hasn't Florida kind of gone away from above ground power lines to start?
That is correct, sir.
Just needs to get on the ball with that shit. They need to get everything underground, start improving the infrastructure, because in no way, shape, at one, knock out power for that many people and have it be knocked out for that long. Because let's face it, originally a Cat 1 storm is basically a party. It should be a party. But no, it wasn't it wasn't a fucking party. It sucked. we lost power, and we kept the problem with Centerpoint as well is that we never got accurate information. The website that showed like the outage map didn't. We kept hearing it took forever to get crews out and about. Like they just didn't have these. Like it took forever for the orders out to some of these power crews to go and go out and fix people's power, and it took them a while to get trees and vegetation trimmed around these lines that were to fall news. Yeah, they just kind of dropped the ball all around. So catching a lot of flack, news media from local politicians, even the governor of Texas with his 2 cents on Centerpoint as well. Essentially saying that they'll, and yeah, like basically the power infrastructure, like what else needs to change, but whatever they're doing right now is not working. I think that they just didn't think that it was going to hit Houston head on, like because originally it was forecast to kind of veer away from it, but instead it veered towards us. And so yeah, there was that. There was, I mean, just let's face it, dealing. I know it sounds like a first world problem, but having no power and no AC for 6 days is not ideal. Has found AC crapping out on him.
Yes.
So we're not going to be caught off guard. We're going to invest here pretty soon once the demand kind of dies down. Losing power.
Brooks. Hold on 1 second, Brooks. Okay. I'm not sensing much anger right now. Right now I'm getting that from you. A lot of that. Okay. Brooks, you didn't have power for 6 days. You had to evacuate your home. Your family could not be in their own home. You have the CEO of Centerpoint Energy right in front of you. What do you want to say to that motherfucker?
You know what I want to say to that guy? Fuck you. That's what I want to say. Fuck you. Get your shit together.
I think
Come on.
I think the pot simmered already. I think it's over, man.
Yeah, if we had if we had recorded this right after we got power back, I think that's when my anger was at its highest. Because I would have,
you would have blown the hinges.
Nuclear. Because by the end of that week, like we were at our wits' end with the power company. Whoa, that was a new one.
Yeah, what was that one?
That was a Wheel of Fortune fail.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we were wits' end. Like my wife was about to go off on somebody. I mean, she was just ready to go off. And on top of that, like our fence, like a big section of our fence fell over. Of course, we was probably going to be because that fence was basically over.
And the
only thing holding it, they're the only things that were. What'd you say?
I say it's because you put it up.
No,
roasted.
This is Bazinga.
Boom, roasted.
Oh man. Yeah, the only fence up 2x thoughts, prayers, hopes, and dreams. So we knew that a storm was eventually going to blow that thing over, and it did. So,
it's Michael
roasted.
So we ended up getting it taken care of, getting it repaired, and our neighbor also behind us, they're chipping in. They chipped in to help as well. So,
let me ask you this: Did you guys you guys have to put like new fence up between you and the neighbor? How much did you guys go to the Home Depot and just grab it, or did you have a company come out and do it?
No, we got different quotes on prices, and we found a company that a local company that did it for us. They did an awesome job.
Nice.
I mean, it's spectacular. I mean, the only thing that's going to fence down falls on it. I'm not worried about a storm coming through because now it's basically fixed in the concrete. It's got like metal braces on it as well. So we're we're actually very, very happy with the work done with our fence. So we got that back up. Of course, around in our neighborhood and around the area, you still see some fences that are still down. You see some debris out and about, but you don't see as much. People have been cleaning their stuff up as well. But yeah, it's been a rather chaotic week. That was not fun. I don't recommend it, but we're stronger for it. And I wish I had more of a nuclear meltdown, but we didn't record this right after we got our back. Yeah, if anybody was seeing me to go off like I works weeks back.
In a world where
yeah, that's right.
Brooksy Boy encounters the hurricanes of hurricanes. The Category 1 Hurricane Brawl. His fence falls over and he repairs it. Yippee-yo, there you go.
What the hell?
What the hell indeed.
What the F was that, bud?
Hey, don't worry about it. So what's going on with you, man? We haven't talked about you today.
Is that coming out better?
No, not really.
So what about that one? Is it still choppy?
It's not that it's choppy, it's just like you can't really hear it. But yeah, dude, what's going on with you, man? Fuck the soundboard for now. You haven't been on the show all day, all episode. So what's new? Give us a state of the union for Boaz.
Nothing means nothing. Got the car, the CRX running pretty good. Running no issues.
Now, is
Gonna
this the
add
engine swap one or the stock one?
This is the engine swapped one.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yep. Got the hood on, closes. Had to do some modifications to it to close, but it's okay. Looks good.
Cool.
Let's see here. Celebrated my son's birthday recently.
Nice.
Yep. Not gonna say his age, but old.
Anywhere from
He's older.
Anywhere from 10 to 40.
Yeah. He's older. But we had a good time. Had a good weekend with the family. That's it, really. Nothing new. I am working on a secret project to kind of help me get back into painting. Like a canvas. So
Nice.
I'll be posting pictures of that soon. Whenever I'm in the brainstorming process right now.
Yeah. Hey, man, if you want, I can post that stuff on our social media when you're done.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that would be tight. And for all those people listening who don't know, Boaz is quite the artist. He's the best drawer I know.
I second that.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
So I'm glad to hear that you still have a passion for that because you're mighty good at it.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, but that part never really leaves. You just kind of, I can bury it for a little bit, but it just eventually, I don't know. You have to do something to kind of release the the itch, I guess. I don't know. Scratch the itch.
It's like when your balls fill full of semen, and at some point it has to burst its way out. One way or the other.
Come on, man.
It's like that. Fucking Javier making Jackson Pollocks all over this motherfucker.
Hey.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I have been getting into emulators lately. I found one where like game emulators. I got it on my Android phone right now. I found one. It's this huge like 18 gigabyte file, and it has like every old arcade game that we used to play, like original Street Fighter 2, Final Fight. Double Dragon, you remember that Avengers game, the one that was a side scroller? You could be like Captain America, Iron Man, Vision, or Hawkeye. Remember that one?
Yeah, like the X-Men one.
Kind of like the X-Men. It was like a not as cool looking X-Men one, but yeah, it was like that. And the X-Men ones on there too. The old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like all of them, man. I've been fucking playing them like a motherfucker. And
on what? On your iPad?
Well, I just today I figured out that there's some emulators you can use on the iPad too. So I have an iPad Pro. I'm like, hell yeah, man! I'm gonna get that bitch set up. So I got some of the easier ones on like Game Boy Advance set up on there, like the old the OG Zelda, some Metroid games, and things like that. Ooh. And then I use a PS4 controller and I Bluetooth it to that. So dude, fucking works awesome, man. I'm surprised how awesome it works. So I've been on a retro game binge. What's your favorite old school game like that?
Well, I have the Nintendo Switch OLED whatever version, and I have it has the SNES, the Sega. It has all the games on there. So I like to play. My brother and I, we went on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle binge. We played all the old Ninja Turtle games.
Those games
are so much fun.
The one that
that.
Fun.
What is it?
I said like Turtles in Time. Isn't that one of them?
Yeah, exactly. Turtles in Time. Well,
he's looking that up. Brooks, what about you? What's like your favorite old school game?
Oh,
Turtles in Time, Shredder's Revenge.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah.
I would say, I mean, I've got a few that really stand out. I would see the original Ninja Turtles game on NES. not the side scroller, but the one that was kind of G-esque, where you had like the above ground area, and then you had the that I'll never forget. Finally beat that was satisfying video game accomplishments of my life, was beating that damn game so hard.
That's
But
yeah, that's funny, man, because that original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is considered like the worst one out of all of them.
Like the hardest one.
I enjoyed it, but it was a challenge for sure. And I mean, of course, the underwater level with the bombs, basically an internet meme in itself at this point. But I remember I got pretty good at that level. I enjoyed that one a lot. Playing Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past on the Super NES, that one was fun. Games were always really fun. Castlevania 3 was a classic.
Oh, yeah,
that one
that was
was
a
one of
good
my
one, man.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was where you had the
That
multiple
was like that was
characters.
yeah, you had Grant, you had was it Sophie or Sophia? Sophie.
Sypha.
Sypha, and then you had Trevor Belmont.
Yeah.
That was the best Castlevania until Symphony of the Night came out, which Symphony of the Night's still like one of my all-time favorite games. That game was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Symphony of the Nights, that's a GOAT game right there. That's GOAT status when it comes to video games. You know what I still enjoy playing on the classic.
Right.
What was the game that oh yeah, the shit. Lost my train of thought trying to remember the game that was Star Fox.
SNES Classic.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
Super NES. I'll still play Star Fox on there once in a while. That one is always a good time. The of course the sidekicks in that were like the most useless sidekicks in the history of sidekicks. But just because
the frog guy.
and then you had the bird.
Useless.
Every time basically the bird, whenever it talked, it always sounded like it was saying "couldn't," even though it was like just kind of mumbling.
I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
It was fun. Oh, of course you have the first two Sonic the Hedgehog games.
I guess I should be thankful. I guess I should be thankful.
Sorry, I'm just like listing off classic
Contra?
games that I enjoyed playing.
Contra was good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Contra. Fucking the OG up, down, left, right.
Yeah,
Gimmick.
start select.
Yeah, that's if you wanted to do both guys had 30 lives.
30 lives.
Select start, yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking old school. My favorite let's see, I liked Final Fight a lot because my cousins and I would be at the arcade and we'd pump a bunch of quarters in that. I always liked Hagar because he was always like
the big guy with suspenders.
Yeah, the big guy with the suspend, and he would, he was kind of like Zangief from Street Fighter as well, And then my one cousin, he liked Cody, and the other cousin who is going to be on the next Pizain's podcast this Thursday night. How's he
going to talk? Does he have a mic?
No, we're going to have to do it through the phone. It's the only way I could get him to do it because he doesn't have a mic. So audio quality might not be good, but now you kind of got.
It's fine. It's fine. He's a character. He's make it work.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yep. So
pretty entertaining. Okay, I got a video game question. I wanted to
go for it.
Question I want to. What is there a video game that you played that you to it just kind of hung over you? Damn, I never even though
the latest ones.
Go ahead.
The latest ones would be Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. Both of those I've been meaning to beat and I haven't. I'm going to think of some older ones while Javier has one. I know he has one in the bucket right now. So
I don't have any in the bucket. I have ones that my brother and I growing up growing up we couldn't beat, especially him because he was we're 6 years apart. So Batman and Robin on Sega Genesis. And when we lived together, we had a we we played it and beat it all the way through. And Two-Face, like that's my favorite level when you fight Two-Face and he's in the blimp and you're fighting him all through the air and shit. I vividly remember that game because how difficult it was. But yeah, we got down. We beat it. I think Top Gear was one of them too. I think it's because it's just a long game. That's how I got those sound bites from those one of those Top Gear. Losing my mind. Let me see.
That's Top Gear in the background that's playing.
Yeah.
I thought that was like him at the casino with like some slot machines or some shit.
That's like I don't know how many hours of them playing Top Gear straight, like into the night. Like I went to bed. Him and my my other buddy, we'll call him Pootie Tang. Pootie and him. I went to bed and woke up the next morning. They were still playing that freaking game, man. Still playing it, and then I got this in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you're not a gamer if you haven't had a 24-hour session, into the night until the next morning playing video games. We all did it at some point. I will say, I remember another game, and it's the reason why I have not played any of the other ones, like very far into any of them. God of War. I never beat the first God of War. I've been meaning to.
Oh, wow.
I have it on my emulator now, so I picked it back up again, and I'm playing it now. And I'm gonna go through all of them starting with the first one. I'm gonna play them all. So,
dude,
IPO, there you go.
That is that's awesome. You get to experience that for the first time. I mean, I remember. I think Brooks got me into God of War. I think he was the one that told me, he's like, "Oh, you got to play this game," and I went over there and watched him play it, and then, that was it. I was like, "Holy cow, this game's sick!"
Yeah, that game. I remember playing that game the first time. That's one of those games where I wish I could go back, experience it, because it's just. I mean, growing up, I always liked Greek. So I mean, just the fact that it involves Greek mythology, I was just like, all right, that's kind of a hook, and I started playing it. And it just sunk its teeth into me right away, and I was like, "Oh my god, I must have beat the first one until the second one came out, and then the second one, I got it like the day it came out, and I think I beat it in the first weekend that I had it. I mean, it took me no time at all to beat it because I went on one of those gaming binges out of war, and
I did a gaming binge on Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Remember I told you that?
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I remember how if I remember, you got stuck on part, I think, were Battle Against the Sorrow. I remember you got stuck on that, and you told me that at like 4 or 5 a.m. to Walmart the strategy guide to figure out how to beat that part.
I went to Walmart to buy the damn strategy guide to freaking pass that part, and it was, you know what it was? I had to take the sleeping pill.
Yep, I remember that.
Unbelievable.
It reminds me. It reminds me of the first Metal Gear Solid where Psycho Man, remember, messes with the controller, and it's like, what the hell's going on? And then you figure out, I got to plug the controller into the second port. So so you'd have
that was such a
get around way. Yeah,
he couldn't predict. He wouldn't be able to predict where you were going to shoot and everything. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. And because if you left it plugged in, you'd have a really, really tough time to hit him. So it was like you didn't plug it. It was like a pain in the ass to beat him in that Oh man! But by the way, that's
Yeah.
another series with some great boss fights, just like God of War did. You know,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
at the games that we never beat. I think for me, my big gaming white whale was Battletoads on the NES. Do you remember Battletoads?
Oh. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What are you laughing at?
Well, two reasons. One,
You looked at your penis or
I
something? What's going on?
one on my arcade emulator, the arcade game Battletoads. I just beat that the other day.
Roasted.
And then number two, the old NES Battletoads. Yes, I also remember that game being hard as fuck, and I was stuck on that level where you had like the razor blade, like unicycle thing that you would hold your hands on, and it would like, oh, it was so hard, such a hard level. But yes, I beat that game, and it was one of the hardest fucking games I've ever had to play. So that's why I'm laughing.
Battletoads is I think voted one of the top 3 at least hardest video games of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I got to I got to level 11 one time, and then another time I actually managed to hit the warp point in level 10, and somehow I finally got to the last level, but I was never able to all get through it because by the time I got there, I didn't have many lives left, and I didn't know the patterns of this all the shit.
Be right back.
From the big tower, so I would by that time I would just be done, and I that game, it was really frustrating. That was actually, I remember that was the first game that caused me to throw a controller in disgust, was Battletoads. That's how frustrating that game was.
Dude, Battletoads is like one of my all-time favorite just games and series, you know? So I played all of them. Did you ever play Double Dragon versus Battletoads or Double Dragon and Battletoads? They had a crossover game.
I remember that, but played it.
It was pretty good, actually. I like that one a lot. I like the arcade one because Pimple was my favorite. He was the big one, you know? In the NES one, he was kidnapped, so you couldn't even play as him. You had to play as Rash or Zitz.
And well,
Rash
every
was my
game,
second favorite.
like every game in that series, one of them was getting, even like the Game Boy one of them was getting kidnapped. I think the only one I remember where you could play as all three was the arcade Battletoads. That was the only one.
Yeah.
And another
like I said, I just played that one.
Another impossible game that I never did. Well, actually, I never beat any of them. Was the Ninja Gaiden games. I could never finish any of those.
Oh, dude, Ninja Gaiden 2. Me and my cousin, we stayed up all freaking night long. It was one of those into the morning playing it, and then we beat it. We beat that one. That was a tough game, man. I remember in the second one, the key was you had to get the thing where you would have like shadow clones, you know, that like kind of followed you.
Yeah.
You remember that? So you would have to like kind of position them while you were safe, and you would let them like, you know, hit the bad guys. Yeah, dude, that last guy I remember takes up like half the screen. You had to jump around. It was a tough game, and I never really got into the remakes. I know they were kind of cool. They were super hard though. I played a couple of them for a little bit, but I didn't get too far in them.
Yeah, I didn't play ones, but the old ones were, especially the second one. I think the second one was probably my favorite one of the series. But my God, those games were so tough, like unbelievably, just absurdly difficult. That I never conquered, but I still consider it a gaming white whale, like I did with Battletoads, because I invested so much time trying to beat motherfucking Battletoads, and I never could do it.
Yeah. So, man, okay. When I was a kid, I was really good at those games. Like really good at that. It was not until I got, you know, a little older and games got more complex that I started not being as good at them. When I was, let's see, this was like 1986 or 1987. We got the NES, and my brother, we all had our games. Like mine was Duck Hunt and Mario. My brother's was Zelda, and he would play Zelda, and then he'd go to work. You know, I think he worked at like a Chinese food restaurant. So while he was at work, I was playing it and I accidentally deleted his character. He'd been playing it for weeks, man, and I accidentally deleted his character.
No.
Yeah. So I got him back to where he was in that game before he got off of work that day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then when he came, I told him, and I'm like, I got you back where you were. Sorry, I deleted your game. And he's like, oh, it's okay, you know. That was probably the first game I remember beating, the first Zelda, and I beat that game with half a heart left at the end because I vividly remember you beat the last guy. Zelda is like surrounded by these like fires, and you have to hit the fires with your sword to get to her. And it's just like the last little thing. You just hit the fire once. Well, I ran into the fire on accident. So I had half a heart left. I'm like, oh no. So I hit the fire, got to Zelda. I beat the game. I beat the game, dude. I was like, fuck yeah. That's the very first game I remember beating.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm back. I had to use the bathroom.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, Zelda was that was a gaming accomplishment. I remember when I beat that one as well.
Yeah.
Beating Super Mario Brothers 3 was a pretty big accomplishment just because it was.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like you had all, you remember that where you had like all the 8 big world maps and every multiple levels and the different Mario suits and all that stuff. That game was fun as hell, but it took a while. And I just remember finally beating it, and that was a big. I felt that was an accomplishment, back at that time too. So
yeah.
that was a fun one.
Yeah, yeah. I beat all of Mario's until Mario 64. I beat that. That was the last Mario I beat was Mario 64. I haven't really paid attention to any of them after that.
Yeah, after Super Mario World on the Super NES was the last one I beat. I mean that was a good accomplishment as well, but after that one is when I kind of lost interest in the Mario games, just because that was also the last Nintendo system that I owned was the Super NES. I never had the 4. I never had like the GameCube or anything like that.
Yeah.
I have the new Mario game on the Switch, but the last Mario I beat was probably Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably the most because I didn't play any of the other ones before that. I mean, I played all the way up to like you guys did. Mario 2, Mario 3, then Super Mario for the Super Nintendo.
Right.
And then 64. I played Mario 64, but I never got to 6. That's kind of weird now. I skipped that one. And then yeah, I got Mario Galaxy, and then I got there's another one called Epic. Actually, wait. I had another one. I'm actually looking at the Mario Galaxy 2. See ya. And then there's also on this Nintendo Switch. There's one that I played. It's like the Lost Levels, and it's part of like the Nintendo's when you get the Nintendo package. It's in there, and I was playing one of them. I mean, you can never go wrong, man. It's just a little 2D side scroller, Mario. It's fun. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Sometimes simpler is better, you know.
I like it. Yeah.
So, well, have you got any?
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I think when it, like you mentioned, simple is better when it comes to games. I think going like old school with it. When like the Castlevania games were all like mostly side scrolling, and then but you had the second one that kind of went PG. That one wasn't as good. I was like, okay, this one's there's a little too much going on. Let's just get to side scrolling, hack all the enemies with your whip and, power up and then fight boss battles, that kind of thing. That was where simple was better. Was that one just, sorry, that one just kind of ahead. So I had to go on a little tangent.
And
there.
then they brought,
I remember you playing that one.
Yeah.
The second one?
Yeah, because I remember I could never play that damn game. Like the whip, and you had to like use your whip and then like lasso objects on the wall to kind of like swing to the other part of the board or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I could just never really get the hang of it. And then a few times you had to do like 3 or 4 in a row and just time them perfectly. This son of a bitch, Brooks, he did it flawless. I remember thinking. I remember being a little kid thinking, "This son of a bitch just did 4 in a row."
I remember that was. I think that was Castlevania 4 on the Super NES because they improved the mechanics where you could like use the whip to swing around hooks and stuff. And I got the timing down. I got the timing down really good on that back in the day. What's funny, I recently was playing it on the Super NES Classic. I figured I was like, I want a game. I haven't played it in so long. Let me see how it was. Dude, I tried doing some of that swinging stuff. I died so many times in a row. I was like, man, how the hell did I do this back in the day?
You heard it here first.
It was
You
rough.
heard it here first.
Man.
Brooksy Boy is a swinger.
Don't tell my wife.
Yeah.
My wife.
We'll leave your ass.
Oh man.
Hey. Yeah, man. Well, nice. Well, I think we should move on from the video games. We'll do our normal.
Shut the fuck up, kid.
Okay. What is there anything in particular you want to talk about, Hobby? You have any anything in the your old utility belt?
In the old, let me hold on.
Hold on, he says.
Well, conspiracy theories. Did you guys talk about that yet?
I would like to set that up.
No, not
Let me
yet.
set that up, and then we can get into that. So I don't think we would be doing our due diligence as a podcast without mentioning all the crazy shit that's been happening lately. Donald Trump got shot. Then Biden dropped out of the presidential race, and both of those have a myriad of conspiracies around them. You had Donald Trump. They're starting to say that there is another shooter that was on top of the water tower, and you see these videos of like the distance of this guy like peeking from the top of this water tower. Real grainy footage, just like Bigfoot grainy footage, you know. Then you got people saying that, saying that Joe Biden's dead or he's dying, and they needed proof of life to see that he's still alive. Well, he had a phone call during the middle of a Kamala Harris event, and in the middle of it, she said, "It's good to hear you." Joe, on this phone call. She almost said recording. So people are all jumping around like, oh, is it a recording?
Oh.
Well, apparently today he actually made an appearance. He walked from like one of the Secret Service cars to Air Force One, and people are saying that's a body double. That's not him, you know. So that kind of brings me to conspiracy theories. There's like a ton of them out there. Some of
Well,
go ahead.
I can put that one to rest. He was just here for dinner tonight, and he's feeling a little weak, and his memory's starting to go. But he's in good spirits, man. I don't even remember.
Does he?
Definitely not. I think it was Wendy's.
You know,
Wendy's nuts. Smack your face.
Hey.
I didn't. That's so funny. I didn't know that people. I guess people think he's dead.
Yeah.
He's up there though. I mean, how old is he?
83, 84, something like that. So, well, before we get into the conspiracy theory talk, I know Brooks, you wanted to say something about a certain event that happened at the RNC.
Oh yeah.
Brooks.
Yeah, I have to say that if anybody was watching, they probably saw Hulk Hogan show up at the RNC and do his speech and then do his little shirt ripping routine where he was wearing a Trump shirt underneath the shirt that he was wearing. And I think he said like Trumpomaniacs. And I saw this and I could not help myself, and that we're living the movie Idiocracy. And not only is Idiocracy no longer a movie, it has completed its trans documentary. We are living in Idiocracy right now, man. I mean, you guys have seen that.
Oh yeah, the movie,
great. Right?
I have not seen it. I have heard. I've heard good stuff about it, and I've heard bits and pieces of it. Is he in that movie?
Oh, he's not in the basically Terry Crews plays as the president of the United States. And you familiar? Are you familiar with the premise of?
Yeah, basically
haven't-
the society gets dumber and dumber, and they all just basically. I think they all wear Crocs, right?
They do. They do.
Sounds about right, bud.
And the thing about it is that the movie ends up taking place where essentially it starts in the present day, and like but then Luke Wilson is like a general or something the military, and he gets kind of like chosen to be frozen to be woken up in the at least on like a year ahead of time. I forget what I'd have to go back and watch it because it's been a while since I've seen the movie. But essentially, something happens, they basically forget about him, and he essentially is like kind of almost in not cryostasis, but he's like in limbo, just kind of asleep for 500 years, and then somebody accidentally wakes up, and he wakes up and realizes that everybody and around him is seemingly, and he's literally the smartest person alive on Earth, even though he's like just normal dude,
regular.
but he's like so much smarter than everybody else. And Terry Crews plays as at this time, but his character before he became president, he was like a porn star and a professional wrestler. And so when I saw Hulk Hogan up on the stage at the RNC, I was just like, "Yep, we are now living real idiocracy."
Yes.
What were you thinking seeing since you grew up a Hulkamaniac? What did you were you cringing, or were you like, "Oh, okay, fuck yeah"?
No, dude, it was, as the kids say now, it was it was
Yeah.
cringe. I was like, no, man.
It was a little. It's not. I don't either. Do you think he got paid to do that?
I don't. I wouldn't be shocked.
You think he's on
Let
board?
me get back to conspiracy theory.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Let me go back to conspiracy theories on that. The theory is that he went up there,
All right.
he shows his support to Trump because now he wants to run for some sort of office. So that was like his introduction to the political field. So that is one of the conspiracies going out. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
So if he actually does win an office, that might
Okay.
actually be the true idiocracy happening. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I know that I think
man.
the Rock was talking about running one day. That would be funny too. Oh man, I'm only in America, baby.
I mean,
Only in America.
we've had, Schwarzenegger, we've had Jesse Ventura, we've had some really big personalities, that aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predator.
Yep. So,
Yep.
oh, Kane has won some political offices too. I think he was mayor or something, I want to say, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big red machine. Hell yeah.
So going back to conspiracy theories, I love them. I think some of them are silly. Some of them might be true. I think the key is not to believe every single one of them. It's kind of become a bad word, in modern society, saying something's a conspiracy theory. But there are some really fun ones, just ones I like. I'll go to you first, Hob. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
My favorite conspiracy theory. So, man, the Mandela effect, it bothers me.
Yes.
Because there are so many things on there that I agree with, and I'm like, oh yeah, it could be that. But like, there's a few that are that really bother me, like the Fruit of the Loom one, where they said there was no cornucopia. They went out on Twitter and posted whoever, I don't know who. I mean, it's just whoever represents them online. It's just some dude going on their phone and updating it, or gal, I don't know, but. They went out and said that there's no cornucopia and they've never had a cornucopia, and they showed like all the logos that they had, and people were flipping out. Okay, but some lady was hell bent on finding, and she found some. She found some old shirts with the tag, and not only her, other people started finding. They're like, "No, I found one. Here's one." I mean, it looks faded because they're older, but it's on there, dude. It's obviously on there. So, so the conspiracy theory is that people or organizations, big corporations, are purposefully trying to erase history to see how far or how much they can erase without us noticing.
Yep. I have seen that before too. And you're right. There are some crazy ones. The cornucopia one. I definitely remember that. Why they would, why they would just blatantly lie about that one. And the only way that's a good explanation on why that one. Seeing how much they can rewrite history. I actually remember a lot of things that they've rewritten history before. I remember them saying that Osama bin Laden was dead. That he died of liver failure or kidney failure. It was, and then just out of like 2 years later, or 3 years later, I don't even remember. Oh, we got him! We shot him and we killed him. No, you cannot see the body. We have thrown him overboard at sea. So I was like, "What?
Wait a minute! I forgot. I had forgotten about that."
Yeah. So who knows on that one?
I did too.
Yeah, they have that the guy who killed Osama bin Laden. He's gone on multiple podcasts and talk shows and described in detail how everything happened, but there's really no proof of it. You would think somebody would have taken a picture.
What the heck? I thought they did.
I haven't
No,
seen it. Man, I've been on some pretty seedy websites. So, K-Cup Slow Drip just whispered. She says she's seen it, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, I was about to say I think I've seen it too. It's him with it's the whoever did. I think it was a group of them, and they're standing over him, and he's dead.
Are you sure that's not Pablo Escobar?
No, Pablo Escobar was on a roof.
They were all around him too when he was shot and killed though, and they basically they.
Yeah. No, this is in a cave. This was in a cave.
Well, he wasn't in a cave. He was in a what's it called? Like a bunker, like a building. All right.
Well, I mean, it looked like a shitty. It didn't look like he was in a resort. That's for sure.
Yeah. See, like the photo I see going around. If you look it up, there's plenty of like reputable stories that say the Osama bin Laden corpse photo is fake. Like the Guardian says that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Guardian. Is that like the tabloids though? Is that like National Enquirer?
I think the Guardian's pretty reputable. Yeah.
The Guardian. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's one of them. But going back to your Mandela effect, gosh, I think the one that gets me the most, besides the cornucopia one, might be the Monopoly man in the monocle. He doesn't have.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Ace Ventura. I mean, he plays. He says the Monopoly man, and it has the guy with the monocle.
Yep. So that's another big one. Oh my gosh. They're all coming. I didn't really pay attention to the Bear-Stain Bears or the Bear-Steen Bears. I honestly couldn't tell you which one it is for real.
Yeah, that's what started it for me though. That one, and it bothered me enough where I was like, okay, what's going on? And then the cornucopia just flew me off the hinges when they said that no, we've never had one. Because before they announced it, before they publicly said something, I heard about it, and I was like, man, I thought there was. I could have sworn, and it was just like a big thing online. And then they went out and tweeted that there was never been a cornucopia, and I was just like, oh no, hell no, that's bullshit. I remember buying Fruit of the Looms, and I vividly remember the stinking cornucopia.
Hey, this one kind of bothers me because it's one that's like I kind of remember, but not like for sure. Sinbad as a genie in a movie called Shazam.
Yes, that I swear.
Yeah,
you guys do remember because there was.
I mean, and they say it was like the Shaq
Shazam.
movie, and yeah, Shazam. But you know what's the worst? I remember I remember
Yeah.
that movie. I remember watching it in school. I think it was one of those cheesy school movies.
It was like one of those deals, if I remember correctly. Let's see, it was out before the Shaq movie. It was like more like a B movie version of the Shaq Kazam movie, and it was called Shazam. Yeah, no, apparently he says he never made the movie. That movie never existed.
I know. That pissed me off too. I was like, dude, what the hell? How much did they pay you, bud? How much did they pay you, bud? And now he's too old. Did you see him recently? He had a stroke and he can't even, like, he's got he's got very low mobility. Yeah. He's on a cane.
I see him on a walker.
All of a sudden, huh?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, a little fishy. Some fishy's going on.
Here, I tell you what, I'll look up some Polymer effects, and you guys tell me. Let's see, 62.
The Luke, I am your father.
That
That's
one
a
I
good
can
one.
kind of.
Oh yeah,
that one I can kind of explain. Because if you watch the movie, he says to him, Obi-Wan says, "You killed my father." He goes, "No, I am your father." He wouldn't really say, "Luke, I am your father."
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with just other movies like misquoting it, like Tommy Boy. He was in front of the fan and he said, "Luke, I am your father." I think it's a lot of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, what movie was that?
Misremembering.
Yeah, Tommy Boy.
Tommy Lethal.
Tommy Lethal.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, we could go through a ton of these, but honestly, I think we got the good ones. You know.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse suspenders. What? Oh, okay. How do they spell Looney Tunes? Is it Tunes Toons or Tunes Tunes?
Brooks, go first on that because I've got something to say on it. So go ahead, Brooks.
I always remember being Toons.
Yeah, it's Tunes, and it's that way because it's Looney Tunes. There's a musical score to it that Warner Brothers tried to promote, and it was a partner cartoon with Merry Melodies. So the tunes is a play on the word cartoon, tunes, music. That's what it is.
Oh, gotcha.
And
okay.
I think you might be confusing it because there was a time where it said Tiny Toons Adventure, and that was that was for kids. They spelled Toons Toon on that one.
Exactly. Yep. So, Brooks,
on that a good example.
What for it?
I was just saying another good example of a Mandela effect was like Jif peanut. There, like, for a time there were a lot of people that would have sworn that it was Jiffy peanut butter, but it was never Jiffy. It was just Jif.
Right, because choosy moms choose Jif. They don't say choosy moms choose Jiffy. So.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Jiffy Lube.
Right. Yeah. Getting more into conspiracy theory. Brooks, what is your favorite conspiracy theory?
My favorite conspiracy theory is sports related.
Hell
back in the mid 90s, you guys remember when Michael Jordan kind of abruptly retired and after embarked on a minor league baseball career before returning to the NBA. Some have speculated over the years that was not an actual retirement, but some people think that was a very quiet way of him being suspended for gambling. But instead of calling it a suspension, they wanted to keep it under wraps. And so it's like, hey, you're going to retire for a couple of years and then you can come back. That's a conspiracy theory being floated that is that true? I don't know, but would it shock me? I mean, I can't say that I would be. Yeah, I've always felt was reasonably plausible if even if it's probably not true.
Yep. Especially with his gambling history.
So
Yeah.
I could see it. But explain to me this one. This is what kind of gives it, raises the eyebrows a little bit. Makes you think. His father passing away. After that year, that's when he retired.
True. Yeah, that's I think that part is what always kept me from true leaving in that conspiracy theory. Just because it had such a a devastating effect, because he was, from what I remember, reading about him and hearing about him, he was very close with his father. So oh, go ahead.
And they won the championship on Father's Day.
Right. That's right. The third one was on Father's Day. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's why he was like, and then after that, he was just like, he, growing up, he always wanted to play baseball. So he wanted to give it a shot. And then even then I knew about his, like, I was a kid. We were both, all of us were kids then. And I even remember hearing about his gambling, but I didn't know what the hell gambling was. I was like, oh, okay. He's just what? He's just spending his money, whatever. But I didn't think it was like, I heard it after when we got older about the gambling thing. And then to me, it just didn't make sense. But I could see how people can think that.
Word. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those where there's some plausibility, but at the end of the day, I don't fully buy into it, mostly because of his father's death happening right around, just before they won their third straight title. So there's a lot of that plays into it as well. So, but it's one of those that's not completely out of left field and completely crazy.
Yeah, dude. So I'm looking up the Mandela effect. Fruit of the Loom. It still claims as that there was no cornucopia, and there's a picture. There's a picture of a lady holding a shirt with a cornucopia. I guess it could be Photoshop, but I'm looking at it, man. That does not look Photoshop.
No, I know. And I've seen the other ones where people they made their own, like with a shirt press, and those were fake. But no, I've seen the real ones too. And yeah, I don't know. It's a dumb thing for them to try to lie about. I don't really get it.
Mind control.
Speaking of speaking of the people who aren't mind control, I'll go into my favorite conspiracy theory. There's two of them. I like, and they're kind of closely linked. My favorite is Hollow Earth. That the Earth does not have like a magma core like they say it does. That it's there's actually like a hidden civilization and a utopia in the center of our Earth, and the way you get to it is from the poles. There's a big hole in the North Pole and the South Pole, and there's some like cave systems all over the world where you can reach it, and that's what the Northern Lights are. The Northern Lights are the civilizations inside of our Earth, and the lights coming from it, leaking into our civilizations, and we're the crazy ones who live on the outside where all this crazy weather and natural disasters happen, and the smart ones live on the inside. It's also technically where it's also supposedly where the lizard people live. I know you've heard of the lizard people. So
yep. Elvis is there.
Hitler, I think, is there. The Nazis were there.
Yeah. Bruce Lee is there. they're all just chilling inside the middle of the earth.
So probably
no social media.
Yeah, probably the most ridiculous one. And if any of them were going to be true, I would hope it would be that one. That would just be so cool. But probably not.
Would be cool.
But that leads me into my other one, and we're gonna play a little game.
This is the saddest one.
We're gonna play a little game, okay? It's Flat Earth. I'm going to play the part of a flat earther, and you guys are going to try to debunk my belief in flat Earth. So
Gravity.
Gravity is not real. Gravity is just mass. Some things have more mass than others, and they fall. You know, there's no such thing as gravity. It's a made up equation made by scientists with no backing to it.
Well, I think there's a video where they actually tried to prove that the Earth is flat by using a flashlight thing, and basically they they drill a hole into a fence that's 8 feet tall, and then go 100 yards and another 8-foot fence and drill the hole the same height, and then shine a light through it, and you should theoretically see the light. I think it didn't work, obviously, because the Earth is not flat. And he's like, "Why don't you raise it up a little bit?" And he raised the light, and then the guy could see it, proving that the Earth is round.
I would have to see,
or there's some sphere.
I would have to see that. I would have to see that study, and I would have to see exactly the measurements to make sure that they match up, and there's no confirmation bias.
You're a flat earther right now. Oh, dude, don't even. I had to do this online. I lost brain cells doing it. I just got tired. Yeah, definitely. I know where you're going, and I'm gonna say, all right, man. The Earth is flat, bud.
Brooks, hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
I had her going so bad, and she was getting.
Were you playing the flat earther, and they were playing, or
no? She was. I was telling her. I was like, so what about? I think I said, why would NASA, with the technology that we have now, why would NASA display a 24/7 video of you can log in anytime and see it and look at Earth from space? And why? And she's like, yeah, but it's a fake. It's a fish lens. And I'm like, why would NASA spend the ridiculous amount of money, or not a fish lens? She said it's CGI or some shit. I'm like, why would they spend that much money on CGI when you can literally just put a fucking camera?
Answer me this.
We have the tech to do that.
Answer me this. The most widely known photo of Earth is called the blue marble. Okay. It's created by NASA. Right. Admittedly, it is not a photograph of anything. It's a model. They even the cloud cover. They said the hardest part of making the blue marble was imitating cloud cover on it. So why would they fake something like that and push it off like it's real? Like, you can actually Google that. That's actually true. The blue marble is not a photograph. It's a 3D model.
Was that before they could get high definition photos of the Earth?
High definition photos of the Earth through what? Through, like you said,
is that what the blue marble was supposed to be?
Yeah,
look like?
Basically, they're pushing it off like this is a photo of what our Earth looks like, and it's not. It's not an actual photo. It's a generated model. That's what it is.
What was their reasoning?
To give people an idea of what they say Earth looks like, but it's not. It's almost like a lie by omission, though, because they push that off like it's a real thing.
I mean, that's like me drawing a car to spec. And then you're like, that's not real. That's just your imagination, motherfucker. Well, it's a car.
But that car, you can have a photo of that car, and you can actually see it. Whatever.
I know, but I'm drawing the car. It looks like the car. It's not like I'm drawing a car with 5 wheels.
Yeah, I can look at a car and I can see a car. I can't see what the Earth looks like from space myself. So
we could
with Elon's help.
With enough money, we could.
Well, yeah.
Look! You sound like a flat earther. You're falling all over your face.
Explain to me. You're saying that we have like how many satellites are in orbit?
Oh, dude! Don't even the amount of satellites. It's like litter.
Yes,
it's everywhere. It's all over floating all over the damn
So
place.
As of June 2023, there are 11,330 satellites orbiting Earth, and none of them are really running into each other. They're all just like perfectly orbiting Earth right now. Space junk, you just said so. There's space junk. None of that's really running into each other because there's no outer space. These things are just basically held up by balloons. That's all it is. That's why every satellite has a balloon attached to it.
Oh man.
Telling you, man. Whatever. Brooks, what's your best shot? Give me your best shot. I got you. I'm gonna convert you into being a flat earther.
What did you say? Hold on. You're saying the satellites are being held up by balloons? By what? By helium?
Yeah, like a weather balloon. Like, weather balloons can get all the way up into like the lower atmospheres and shit,
Yeah, but they get out of they're out of once you're in space, there's the gravity. It's not
That's
not
what
the
I'm
same.
saying. There is no space. We are the center.
So what do you think space
There is no
is then?
space.
You think the farther we go out, the gravity doesn't change, it just consistently stays the same?
Oh, we wouldn't know that because that's all been faked by now. Yeah, every photo you see of us in space, it's all fake. It's all underwater photography, or they use strings.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. But if you're saying what you're saying is if we do get up there, what's gravity going to be like? The same, because you're saying there's going to be fucking balloons holding the satellite.
I'd have to believe in
So
gravity.
you're
I'd have to believe in
agreeing,
gravity.
right?
I don't believe in
That's
gravity.
what I'm saying. So then you just agreed to it because you have to have balloons.
It has nothing to do with gravity. It just has to do with balloons being lighter than the air in our atmosphere.
Denser,
less
yes.
dense.
I mean, if we're talking about radars up, floating around the Earth, though, I mean, doesn't the radar technology just automatically account for the Earth's curvature? I mean, shouldn't it be? I mean, wouldn't it be advanced enough to account for that?
Yeah, I did topographic survey. That's what I know that the freaking Earth is round. I don't need to explain it, but freaking Wayne over here doesn't believe in gravity.
Well, tell me this: why is like every pilot not have to adjust for the Earth's curvature when they land a plane? A pilot,
What is it,
most
what?
pilots don't, but they think that the Earth's flat. A lot of pilots, at least, think the Earth's flat. They don't have to adjust for the curvature of the Earth. They don't have to adjust for the rotation.
No, they don't. Define a lot. What are you talking about?
I saw
a lot
a
of
video
pilots.
of at least 20 pilots all saying the Earth's flat. Like freaking, like fucking.
But the thing is, pilots are always having to make adjustments. They're not always going in a straight line. I mean, they have to make the adjustments for speed and altitude. And if you think about it,
there's 10 times more pilots believe that the world is round than there are that don't.
I haven't seen a video of it.
Yeah, and
a video of what?
At least 20 pilots saying the Earth is round, because I've seen a video with 20 pilots saying it's flat.
Yeah, you're gonna see that because it's easy to videotape idiots. If you ask somebody, "Hey, what's common sense?" They're gonna say, "Fucking buzz off, buddy." But you want to capture dumbasses. Like, "Hey, buddy, you believe the Earth's flat?" Yeah, come on, let me record your ass. Oh, you got 20 of your dumbasses? Come on, let's gather around. Video time.
I'm sorry, guys. You guys can't convince me. The Earth is in the center of we are the center of the universe, and Well,
since you're into videos, I can send you that video that they did the study where the flat earthers, your species, tried to do a study and they got royally robo-raped. And
it's okay.
Yeah. They found out the world was
round. You don't have to get so
round.
heated about it. We can have a civil discussion about how the Earth is actually flat, and we're surrounded by an ice wall that people think's Antarctica at the bottom.
There's
an
ice wall
that surrounds us all. The actual map of us is not how it is presented. It's flat. It's a flat map. We're a disc. Flat disc.
We're a disc. So then when we look out into space with our telescope, why are all the other ones not discs?
Those are
right.
I'll have to do a little bit more research on that one. I'm not quite sure. Hold on.
Yes, you son of a bitch.
Oh man.
This is why I deleted Facebook.
Explain this to me. If you look at the moon,
oh my!
Why is the moon is just
Explain
moon is
this
just a
to me.
reflection of the Earth? It's not like what that's supposed to be craters and stuff. No, it's just a reflection of the Earth. It matches up perfectly with our continents.
Cool, but you still can't tell me why when we look out into space, everything else is.
Oh, you're gonna hang on. I've blown
sphere,
your arguments out of the water, except for one. And you're just gonna hang on that one, huh?
You haven't blown any of the arguments out of the water. You say nonsense.
No, it's an explanation for every single thing that you believe.
We can't even say this with a straight face right now.
It's nonsense.
Oh,
I don't believe in gravity. The satellites are being held up with balloons.
Weather balloons. That's right.
Oh.
Hey, every satellite does have a balloon on it, for real. That's not for real. I'm getting out of my character now. No, I am not a flat earther. I was just playing one on TV. But yeah. Yeah.
NASA what? They said that there's balloons on satellites.
Do have a satellite, or every satellite has a balloon on them. I don't know what it's for. It might be like I have no idea what it's for, but I've seen tons and tons of photographs of satellites with balloons on them. Maybe.
But do they all have balloons, or just some of them?
I don't know if they all do or not. That's one of those flat earther arguments I didn't look into too much, but I couldn't deny all the photos I saw. There is some shade, like getting like serious though. There is some like shady shit about like all that stuff, like the moon landing. Man, dude, have you guys ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
That one I've actually never seen.
You don't have to watch the whole thing.
I've never.
Just go on YouTube sometime and watch clips. For that day and age, it is insane the special effects they're able to pull off for that movie. And Star Wars ended up using a lot of that special effects too later on. But I mean, that was that movie from the 60s, I think. It was pre.
No, the 70s.
I want to say, are you sure? I thought it was pre us landing on the moon. But
let me double check it, but I'm pretty sure it came out in the 70s.
Yeah, you might be right. But anyway, they're saying he's the one who directed the moon landing, as you would say, and that we didn't actually go there. It was all special effects. And then even Buzz Aldrin has been coming out lately, like kind of hinting that they never went there. I know he had like this whole like funny skit about it on a comedy show, but then he's like actually had interviews where he's like kind of suggesting they never went to the moon. So yeah.
By the way, I was wrong. 2001: A Space Odyssey came out in 1968.
1968. We land on the moon, and we landed on the moon in 1969. So that's where that conspiracy theory comes from, that he had already been working on a space movie to make that look real. So yeah, it was all about the space race, beating Russia there, the Cold War and all that stuff. Yep. Anyway, I guess we can end that segment.
Shut the fuck up, kid.
Hey. Well, hey guys, we're getting kind of late. I got to work in the morning, and I think Brooksy Boy does too. So,
yep,
before
I do.
we do that, you guys want to do a day in history?
Oh yeah, man, let's hear it.
Well, Ulysses S. Grant dies in 1885. 43 killed, over 1,000 injured in Detroit riot in 1967. British actor Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, aka the new Wolverine, born in 1989.
I was gonna say aka a variation of Wolverine.
Hale-Bopp comet is discovered in 1995. Amy Winehouse dies in 2011. I always thought she was a little bit overrated. Like, she had some okay songs, but I think they kind of, I don't know, they tried to make her like a, oh shoot, who's the hippie singer that everybody liked from
Janis Joplin.
Jim, it
was Janis.
The guy from the
Jim
Doors.
Morrison.
Oh, Jim Morrison.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they try to like, I don't know. I never thought she was kind of ugly as sin too. But
isn't it the 27 Club or some crap?
Yeah, she's in.
Yeah, because Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix was in that as well.
Shoot, the actor who died in the car wreck.
Dean?
Wasn't he in the 27 Club?
That I'm not sure.
Let's see. Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Jean-Michel Basquiat, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse. That one's within the 27 Club. Half of those people I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right, moving on. Sally Ride, the first American woman in space, dies in 2012. And we have a quote from Miss Sally Ride. 3 secrets to success. Be willing to learn new things. Be able to assimilate new information quickly. And be able to get along with and work with other people. Here at the Big Show on the Three Bozos Network, we have 3 secrets to success as well. We're always willing to learn new things, like my co-hosts learning that the Earth is flat as of today.
I was just about to say, except for flat Earth.
They're able to assimilate new information quickly, like how gravity isn't real, and able to get along with and work with other people, like how I'm able to get along with these 2 Globers.
Globers. I've never heard that term before.
And as we learn these 3 secrets to success, we will continue to grow in our reach to the ears of many until we have an army of flat earthers to do our bidding. So don't forget to follow, subscribe, download our podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Additionally, find us on social media, X, TikTok, and Instagram. Search for the Three Bozos Network. 3 scary-looking clowns wearing snazzy suits. Abia. I am starting to stutter like Porky Pig. Last but not least, find us on YouTube. Pump them YouTube numbers up. Give us a subscribe, follow, comment, all that stuff. Yippee-yo, let's go. Brooks, parting words for the people.
I will never take air conditioning or having power in my home for granted ever again.
See ya. Hav, what do you got?
I'm gonna send you that video that proves that the world is not flat.
Oh,
my blood's boiling from that last segment.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right, but yeah, that was good, man. That was good. Sorry I was late. I fell asleep, took a vicious nap. It was perfect storm. Like I said, it was raining. AC was cold. I was laying down waiting for these 2 schmucks. And I fell asleep.
Well, we may have lost Sleepy Joe, but we'll always have Sleepy Boz.
Love
it. I think that's all we got. Until next time.
Hell yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.